I've lived in 5 different countries in Africa. I've lived in Malawi, Botswana, Zambia, Morocco, and Nigeria. I've also travelled extensively in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and Egypt. Never once in all my years of living or travelling on the African continent have I been mistreated in any way because of my ethnicity, because of my skin colour. And this is in spite of the fact that I come from a country who are guilty for some of the worst colonial crimes ever inflicted throughout human history. That's right, I was born in Great Britain. And without doubt, the British and the French committed the greatest atrocities across the continent of Africa. The Belgians have a good claim for the greatest atrocity in their treatment of the Congolese, but if one looks at it as an entity and the number of countries that were invaded by the British and French colonialists, one will see that they are the worst protagonists. Despite this, and despite the behavior of my ancestors, I have never been mistreated. In fact, I have been welcomed warmly in all of the countries I have lived in or visited. And when in Africa, I don't cocoon myself in some enclave dome which is inhabited by people who like to refer to themselves as expats. I hate that term. But no, I integrate as much as possible within local society. I will go to a shebeen. I will go to any compound and experience life as it is for people in the country where I am based. So whether that's in the village, whether it's in the township, whether it's in the local bar, I will integrate, I will mix, and I am always made welcome. Now contrast that with the way many Africans are treated when they choose to live in the United Kingdom or France or other parts of Europe. The difference is incredible. The everyday racism experienced by African people on the European continent is a crime against humanity. Now, there are different types of racism. The most obvious is the day-to-day experience that an African will have whilst living in parts of Europe. The name calling, the staring, the subtle discrimination. And for many Africans, they will just brush it off because it is so common that they just get used to it, sadly. Worse, though, is the institutional and structural racism that Africans have to abide with. The restrictions on their movements, the fact that most passports emulating from the African continent will only allow Africans to travel visa-free to a handful of countries. And most of those will be other African countries or countries in the Caribbean. And moreover, the difficulty that Africans have finding work in Europe is unimaginable. People who are qualified as doctors, accountants, lawyers, university lecturers, nurses, teachers do not have their qualifications and experiences recognized by most European countries. I know many people from Africa working in various parts of Europe as security guards or as care assistants when back home they had highly skilled professional jobs. But that experience is rarely recognized when they come to Europe unless they come as part of a transfer with an existing company. But if they come because they've migrated to Europe, their chances of accessing the sort of job which they are eminently capable of is slim. Now, if a black person was making this video, they would be quickly dismissed. They'd be dismissed as having an axe to grind or always trying to find problems. And again, that's part of racism. The fact that I can speak because of my white privilege means that I have a duty to do so, not because I'm married to an African woman or because I have many African friends, but because I like to think I'm a decent human being who appreciates the value in every person on our planet.
At the end of the day, and the majority of them may pretend like they don't know what's going on and say things like, oh, racism is the thing of the past. We don't do that anymore. We are all equal now. We are on one. But they know that all of that is BS. They know it's a lie because they see everything that's going on. But they don't have to care because why should they? Him, on the other hand, though, he seems like he's one of them that we can call the good ones, I guess, or one of them who's trying to be good. Good for him because that's not one you see on a daily basis. But, talking about how nice African people are when it comes to how we relate with these people still, even after giving everything that they did to us as a people, and by the way, still continue to do as a people. Sometimes, me myself, I cannot even believe that we act the way we do. Because how is it that as a people we are like this globally? It doesn't matter if it's an African person on the continent, it doesn't matter if it's an African descendant in the diaspora, whether it's in the Caribbean or whether it's in the UK or whether it's in the US of A, or it doesn't matter where this African person is or where this person of African descent is. The warmness still that we can still have as a people towards these people is something that needs to be studied because man, it can't be real. African people, sometimes I'm like, we are so unreal because I know, oh my goodness, I know that if it were the other way around with these people, they would never be this nice because like I have said before, if it were the other way around, if it was us that did to them what they did to us, these people would not want to see us. Like they would not even want to see our shadow. They would not want to see us in their spaces, in their countries, in their continents. They wouldn't. But African people, it's like we don't have a hate bone. We just want to live. This is why I'm like, I just wish we were left alone, man. I just wish we were left alone. I wish all of the things that happened in the past didn't happen because given the spirit that we have, we just want to stay, eat good food, dance to good music, take a nap, maybe sit at the beach with a coconut in hand, sipping coconut water, not disturbing nobody. We not define anybody. We don't look for trouble. We mind our business and we enjoy. Even still giving after everything that African people have gone through, we still find ways to be happy. You would think we've never gone through all of the things that we went through. You would think that nothing has ever happened to African people because of the joy, the warmth that African people have. And oh my goodness, sometimes I'm like, we can't be real. We can't be real. All of that aside, even sometimes when I look at, the way things are on the continent with how hard it's getting, inflation, all of that, and the puppets doing what they are doing, and you will still see African people happy. You will still see African people online with the jokes and everything. If you did not know any better, you would think that all is well 100% on the continent. Africans are legit the definition of not looking like your problem. So imagine if we did not even have any of these problems to begin with. How do you think we would have been if we were like this right now, given everything that we've been through and everything we're still going through? We're still this happy and loving and welcoming. We're still this accepting and willing to share and embrace and be warm to people. How do you think we would have been if we did not go through all of this? But I know these people would never, if they were the ones. If they were the ones who had to go through all that we went through and we were the ones who inflicted all of that on them, no, they would not even want to see our shadow. Like they would see how they act now, and we did not do anything to these people. Imagine if we had done something to them. Just imagine. Think about it. And I've said this before in a video, right? Like this video I made a couple of days ago. Sometimes I also wonder, what if everybody just starts to act how, like, do me I do you kind of mentality? What if everybody just starts reciprocating? How would this world even be? Because these people, the way they act sometimes, I don't know, like, what is wrong with them. Imagine if everybody acted like these people. Imagine the kind of crazy world like that we would have been in. I mean, the world is already crazy as it is, but just imagine if we were all reciprocating the nonsense that they dish out. Maybe by now they forgot change their character. Sometimes I wonder that, right? I wonder, could it be that they still have the audacity to be acting the way they're acting because everybody just kind of like ignored them and, just roll their eyes and say, "Oh, white people, here they go again." Imagine if we were all just if we're all just giving it back to them like bumper to bumper, bass goes. By now, maybe they forgot change their ways more. But I'm just going to leave this here. I want to bring this quick video. Let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are. And yeah, let's continue this conversation there. I'll see you guys in the next one.